Hello. Hello, good morning. Let me see, I have some music on in the background, so I gotta make sure that's not too loud. You tell me if it's too noisy. I hope you can't really hear it. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Creative Mornings. I'm Erica, and today we're gonna be drawing in our sketchbook. Another day, another sketchbook drawing. I have been doing these creative mornings, I want to say, about 3 years now. I have an echo. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. How about now? Is there still an echo? Thank you, Liz. Good morning. How are you? Tell me if you hear an echo still. You know, sometimes when those things happen, I don't know how to fix them. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Okay, great. Then I guess I do know how to fix it now. Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, so as I was saying, I'm Erica, if you don't know me yet, and I'm an artist and an educator. And I've been doing these creative mornings for about 3 years now in the summer when I'm off on summer break. And I do this as a way to kind of keep myself in a routine. And especially to get myself drawing, because it's really easy when you got a bunch of other things going on to put that by the wayside. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like I benefit so much from drawing. So for my own mental health, my own like relaxation, my own benefit, I want to draw as much as I can, as regularly as I can. And so that's why I'm doing this. Maybe you are also like me and sometimes other things get in the way and you have trouble, committing to it. So I have these like dedicated hours. We're just going to draw for an hour. We draw as much as we can. We don't finish. Cool. We'll finish tomorrow. Maybe you get really into it and you want to keep drawing and you have time for that. Do it. If you are just not able to draw and you just want to hang out and, chat with me in the chat or co-work, maybe you got your own projects going on. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So we're going to get right into it. Today we're starting with a new drawing, and I'll just give a little quick recap. Yesterday we finished this guy, and this is just like fun, playful way to do this. Like I want drawings in my sketchbook to be low pressure. They're exercises primarily, and I just kind of make decisions on the fly. Hi, good morning, Emily. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Lively. Oh, you're so cute. Thank you so much. And Liz, thank you so much for being here. I'm impressed with you being going up and at 'em so early. It's not really that early, right? I feel like 10 is like a good time. It's like early, but it's not too early. Yeah, so I just want to kind of play in my sketchbook and, see what happens. And when I make mistakes, I try to fix them. I think for me, a lot of learning happens when I make mistakes. And I kind of have to figure it out. Sometimes the solutions are successful and other times they're not. And that's okay too. We're just playing. Now, today I have a new theme for us. And I wanted to kind of approach this a little bit differently. So a couple of things I had talked about last time was like talking about how I personally take my drawings and turn them into stickers or stationery or something like that, right? Other products. So I know there was a little bit of interest in me showing how I do that. So I am going to talk a little bit about that today. And also I think the way that I'm going to draw today might also be a little bit impacted by that, okay? So that's something to consider. Your son has archery camp. You've been up oh, wow. So I don't know. What's it like, Liz, being like, you have to get up early, but you're also like a night owl, right? Like a natural night owl. So are you struggling with that? Like how much sleep are you getting, girl? Yes, and I thought about you today because we're doing a new theme and the theme is like summer camp. And I thought about archery and I was like, oh, I should put some in there for Liz. But I'm sure you can include your own images. If you have your own images, go for it. But one of the pain points I'm trying to remove in terms of creating these creative mornings is that I provide images and I just tell you like this is what we're drawing today. You want to draw them? Cool. You want to draw something else? That's also cool. But if, trying to figure out what you want to draw is a pain point for you, like it used to be something like, I don't know what I'm going to draw. And I would just get distracted and do something else. Or I started looking on Pinterest for images and I would get distracted and then I never came back to draw. So I'm providing photos, right? Now, the photos are going to pop up on the screen like you're seeing right now, but they're really small. If you want to go over to my Patreon page where I have this link posted for this live stream, and I have all the photos there. These are just scoured from the internet. Today, I did look for a lot of photos on Unsplash, which is free, like copyright free images, but they just weren't giving what I was looking for. So I pulled a lot of these from Pinterest and, I don't know, there's a lot of LL Bean vibes in here. So let me show them to you. I'm going to kind of run through them really quickly. I have a ton of images. I was thinking maybe we'll draw like the first 5 if we can. But I think this would be really good because if we're going to be doing the sort of sticker making that I was envisioning, this gives us lots of stuff that we can draw from, okay? So you're tired, you're going to bed earlier, but you're tired, yeah. You're going on vacation tomorrow. I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to see everything that you post about that. All right, so here are the images. Ready? I'm going to kind of like buzz through real fast. You can see them up on the top of the screen. This is really the vibe for this sketchbook spread. I was thinking scouts, Girl Scouts. If you were a Girl Scout, raise your hand. I was a Girl Scout. I was a brownie and a junior. But I was thinking scout patches. This is just so cute. Backpack. I wanted a backpack, but like this one had all these patches on it. You can draw it with or without it, right? Remember that you can always take what you want from these images and leave behind what you don't, right? So feel free to change, alter, adjust. I mean, it's just a jumping off point. It's just a reference. Yes, for sure. Like the pennant flags, I needed that. Compass. The ojos de Dios, the little craft that you would make with yarn. I think we've drawn those before for sure. I've definitely drawn friendship bracelets and letter bead bracelets before. So this is going to be kind of a return to that. This is sleeping bag. I love the pattern on it. I love patterns. So friendship bracelets, like charmed up, moccasin loafers, a frog, bandanas, more sashes, ribbons. I don't know. I like the patterns. I like the font on these shirts. More patches. Got a lot of stuff here. Okay, and now we're back to the start. So there's a ton of images. I only posted a few of these over on Patreon. But if you want me to, I can just put them into like a little Google Slides or something like that and share them as well if you want to like kind of go through them. Okay, so one thing that I talked about with the sticker situation is this. When I draw, and I draw and I draw and I draw and I draw. And then when I bump into something, I just make it look like it goes behind, right? That's one of the things I do as I'm drawing because I don't do a lot of planning. I kind of sketch very loosely and whatever happens, happens. Sometimes I make changes and you'll see like some of my little guidelines. But for the most part, I don't do a lot of pencil sketching, right? So I don't have an opportunity to erase. What that means for me is sometimes like, if I wanted to make a sticker out of these strawberries, this straw is in the way. And so it might cause an issue, right? So when I'm making stickers and I'm taking from these, sometimes I will just I'll photograph the whole thing and then I'll use Procreate to remove all the background and I'll just isolate one area that I want to make into a sticker. And then I'll draw that back in. So usually I do that digitally. I will just draw the missing part and I just kind of like make it up, right? Try to fill in that gap. But if you don't want to have that issue and you want to turn your sketches or your drawings into other things, then draw them separated, right? Give yourself space so that nothing touches. And that's something I want you to think about as we move forward into this. Like if I really liked these melons and I would like to, you know, turn that into a sticker, but that would give me a lot of stuff that I have to draw here. And not just like simple, easy stuff that I could just fill in. It's like complicated. Like there's multiple items, there's the plate. So that could present more challenges for me. And if you want to keep yourself, like make your life a little bit easier as you work on this spread, and if you're interested in making those into like other items, then keep them separated, okay? That's the first thing I'll say. Now, I don't know what colors I want to use today, but I do think I want to use lots of greens, and I want to use like browns, kind of tan colors. So I'm going to probably lean in that direction, but I always like to start with something pretty light that I can sketch with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this one right here, and I'm going to kind of lay that out, right? So I think I'll do it. I feel like my instinct is telling me to do it here. So I'm going to draw out like the shape, but you can just like focus on the image if you want to of the figures. Focus on the figures if you want. I do have those images. Let me get them over here next to me. I'm going to open them up on my iPad so I can see them a little bit closer because they are pretty small on my screen right now. Let me find it. All of these images are on the Day 5 Creative Mornings. Let me just, whoops, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so I have the image here up close. I can look at it. If I don't want to draw all of that stuff, I could just draw the little boat with the figures in it. That's actually really cute too. I think I'm gonna stick with what I have, right? I might zoom in though, so I'll have like the canoe or whatever that is. Is that a kayak or a canoe? I don't know. Like figure here, one figure there, and another figure here, right? So you can see I'm just blocking them in. And then there's trees back here, and there's water. Let's see, let's put that shadow. Okay, I guess I'm already fully drawing this, right? But you can see that I wanted to zoom in a little bit, so it's a canoe. Thank you. Right, canoe versus kayak. Kayak is like plastic, right? And then I can put a little bit, maybe move that line a little bit further back. I wanted a little bit of trees, so maybe I'll make them even smaller so it'll make it look like it's a little bit more distant. But I'm doing this so that way I can see that tree line. I think I would like that personally, the way it looks. So you can see I'm making changes to the composition. I'm using this as a reference, but I'm not necessarily like, you know, super concerned with getting it exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some colors from my markers. You know, I've talked about these quite a bit. I've been using the Ohuhu Nahuku. That's what they're called. And I don't know I think they might still be on, not sale, but there's like a bonus item that Elizabeth told us about, and we all went and scurried over to buy them. Elizabeth, you're an influencer, because they were buy this and you got like another set of markers free, which that was great. I think that's great. So I'm just going to pull a couple of colors. I always like to have, you know, light, medium, and darks of the same color. So maybe like here, I have two darks, so I need like a medium and a light. I don't know if that's going to be what I need. And then I'll use the brown too. We'll see if I need anything else. I'll pull from there. Okay, got my image out, and I'm just gonna start drawing. So these are the colors I have at this point in time. Will they stay here this whole time? Will they all get used? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, light, medium, darks, two darks. Light, medium, I'm guessing dark there. Okay. Now, you can use all the colors that you like. I just like a limited palette, so I might bring in blue also, just because, you know, I got blue water here. So let me do that. Okay. Scoot this over. Sorry, I feel like this is not a good like angle for me to draw in. I'm just gonna fill in the space. I do draw very loose. I'm not very tight about my drawing, so I'm gonna do just like a rough block in. There. Oh, and I can use this also for the sky, which I'm also loosely blocking in. And I'll come back and play with that a little more. I'm going to loosely, everything's very loose here. We're all very loose. Block in my trees. And I'll come back and play with that a little bit more later. Just trying to make sense of the space. So that's what we're going to try. This shape is so unusual. And it's one of those things, kind of like the banana we've talked about before. How it's like a very simple but like complicated shape. So if you don't quite get the like curves right, it could look a little funky. So we'll see if I can get this to look canoey. And there's some little figures in here, but I don't want to spend too much time making figures. I don't love drawing figures. I think you guys know that. Especially figures in motion. Oh, yeah. I hate that. But I don't mind a little, you know, silhouette of a figure. Even though that can be kind of challenging to do as well. I start to see how we chose our colors here. Now, the great thing about these markers that many of us are using is that because they're acrylic, you can just go over areas that maybe weren't right. So you can kind of just draw through things, which is very forgiving, very flexible. I'm gonna bring in some more blue. I feel like I'll need something dark here. Right where the canoe meets the water. Don't want to do too much on this little boy's. Like I'm already not. Let's see. I'm going to try to just put a little bit of an indication of them through like light and shadow. So I'm going to keep it really vague. So I'm looking for the shadows on these figures, right? And I'm just trying to look at them as shapes. So I can just include like really the bare minimum here. Don't want to do too much. I already know that that would be Not something I would enjoy. It would probably produce not good results. And I know my limitations. I want to just kind of enjoy this process. So I'm going to just, keep it loose, keep it simple. Use a little bit more dark here. And again, I'm just trying to define just a little bit what's happening in this space. Like, why does it look like this? What is that exactly? That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go in with my very dark brown. Wait, this is not the very dark. Is this the very dark? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the darkest. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I feel like it doesn't look that dark. On the tail end, I know I've been talking a lot about my class. I'm on the tail end of my summer class and I cannot wait. I'm like literally so excited to be done with my classwork so that I can just play. I really have been itching to play with my Cricut and I haven't really been able to. I've had so much work to do. So I am so excited to finish up and that way I can play. Wait. I remember I had that like personal curriculum planned. I think I need another blue, like something kind of in the middle range. And I feel like I've been able to do some of those things, but my art history is really taking a lot of my time. So I am eager to be done already. So that is coming soon. Cannot wait. These are kind of all the same. These two blues are very similar. That might be not very useful. These greens are also really similar, which isn't really a problem, but when you need something a little more like in the middle, it can be a little hard to define those spaces. Okay, I'm going to pull out some of those darks. Carefully cut that around the shape of the head. For me, it lands right at the horizon, but in the picture, it does not. So maybe you were smarter than I was and didn't have them kind of like touch. I personally don't really like when that happens. When it looks like so like perfectly aligned, I don't like that. That's the one downside is I wish there were some colors. Yeah, I feel like I need a color between some, right? Maybe if we get like the bigger set. Is there a bigger one than this? I think there was somebody had mentioned that they got the 120 set. I don't know if that was you, Emily, right? Did you get the 120 set? I don't remember, but I know that these are only 72, so maybe if we get a larger set. I mean, that's the one downside with like marker, right? I guess. If you were painting, of course, you could mix exactly the color you need. But if you are working with the marker, you can kind of stack them up and you can do some creative stuff, but it's really kind of, you're kind of stuck with those colors. So what you're saying, Liz, is that they're not going to be in the shape that we like, right? Like the brush that we like. Yes, Emily. And you haven't gotten yours yet, right? They're on their way. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see what they look like and what you feel about them. Because I do feel like, okay, let me figure out how I'm going to make this tree here. Sorry, I had to stop and think for a second. I'm like, wait, my brain needs to work a little. I think I can use like diagonal lines here. I don't want to do too much. Like, I'm going to be very honest. I don't want it to be, I don't want to do it personally. I don't. So I'm going to leave it a little bit vague, of course. But I want to find like a good way to abbreviate. That's my challenge always, is like, if I want to keep it vague like that, how do I abbreviate it? I feel like I need another sentence. Like maybe I can cut into this like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Friday you're getting them. How exciting. $64. That's not. Oh. $64 for them. Wow. Okay. And they're $69 right now on Prime Day, of course. I feel like Amazon always does that, right? Like they're like normal price. It's like that time when Michael's raised the prices, because even though they were trying to say, I don't know. I don't want to like allegedly they were raising the prices just so they could lower them to say that it was like Black Friday or something like that. I feel like that's very on brand for Amazon too. I think that there's actually been like a lawsuit that found them like that they were doing that, like, what do you call that? Like, it's not like manipulating, but I don't know. I feel like there was something about that. But yeah, like the price is based on the demand at that moment in time. So okay, I have this really light color. Maybe this will work here. And I'm going to put a little bit on the edges of these little bodies so that they feel like there's a little bit of light kind of reflecting off of it. I had put some of that blue in here and it just really, that didn't work. Right there. We had a little touch of it here. I touch it on the edge of the oar, on the edge of the hand. Don't need to do all of this, but I feel like if I just add a little bit here and there, it's gonna feel like I, took the time to kind of develop it, even though I didn't do that much. I do think we need a little bit more shadow here. I've heard that there's a Walmart that has dynamic pricing that can change. Oh, yeah, and I've also heard that they base it like on your cookies, right? Like on what you have been looking at. It's like drives me up the wall. I don't know. I want that to kind of feel. Let me try blending them together. I'm just gonna kind of like stack them up, smush them around, making a new color between them, right? That kind of worked. I think that worked. It's a little textury, but I'm into it. Okay. I do want to kind of leave that a little, I don't know. I'm debating whether I should put like the tips of the trees here so that it could feel a little, like, staggered. We'll see. Let's see what we do here. We'll figure something out. Or do I sharpen the line? That's the question. Let's put it right here. A little bit of this blue in here just to kind of carve out the shape, cut into those trees, make the sky holes. And a little too high there. Okay. Let me do... put some sky holes in there. Just kind of putting this light blue in there. Makes it look like there's a little bit of light coming through. I'm going to raise that just a little. Okay, and then I will finish it with the little treetops here. I don't want to do too much, but yeah. Okay, I think maybe a little bit of light on here would be nice. This is the color I was using, but it just doesn't feel light enough. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna stop there. I think this would be really nice if I had that blue colored pencil, the Prismacolor. Where did I put that? So I might incorporate that later. We'll see. Okay, that's one down, right? Let's see. Cordelia says, I don't know if this is true other places, but the Max Marshall's stores around here. Oh, they have, yeah, I have seen them there. 84 for $30? Wow. Yeah, I have seen them. How do you feel about those? Have you all tried the King Art acrylic markers? I bought some of those. I think it's King Art, and they're like gel crayons, like really chubby, and those are kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about them. Yeah, ugh, it's crazy. What a time to be alive, right, guys? Okay, I'm gonna go over to the next image. If you're still working on this and would like to continue it, by all means, you know, pull it up on your Patreon so that way you can see it. I'm gonna move over to this one. I really wanted a twig sign, really bad, and I want to make one. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this in there. I think I'm gonna include it up here. So I'm gonna make it just kind of look very rustic. I'll make it kind of crooked. I know that's not crooked, but I'm gonna overlap it right here. Some little knots. Try to make that look more, make more sense. And then camp. And I will try to turn those into twigs in a bit. That's cute. I like it. Okay. Little border of some like twiggy border. Okay. And maybe I will just kind of, let me see. I'm going to kind of sketch some things out here. So I have the images on Patreon up on my screen. So I'm just going to kind of like block in where I want things to go. I think I'm going to put the backpack here. Might make a few changes to the way it looks. So it's something like this. We'll definitely put some patches, but I don't know if I'll put that many. And then I'll put the canteen maybe. There were some really cool looking canteens on the internet, and I liked how this one looked kind of like old, but there's so many cute, some with really cool patterns on them. So feel free to play with what you include. Okay, I'm gonna kind of sketch it out. Oh, I definitely want this. I have a problem with this. I want to put that pennant banner, but I don't want it in that direction, like the direction that it's pointed. This one right here. Sorry, it was this one. You're using the Just Art acrylic markers. Yeah, I've heard good things about those. Hi, Gina. you're a new subscriber, you found that the Amazon isn't always the best place. Correct. You'll look at a couple of sites like Walmart or even Art Supply. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, I think like sometimes we just kind of lean on Amazon because it's just like easy and everybody, like for the most part, you can find a lot of things there, but it's not always the best deal. You're absolutely correct. And thank you for joining. I'm glad you're here. And what is your opinion on the Just Art? Do you like them? I know Liz is also using those. So I'm curious. I have not really tried those. I've seen them and I know that the prices are really good. So let's see. I feel like this wouldn't be the natural way that this would look, but you know, I'm not gonna write that on there because I think I'm gonna put something else, like maybe something that's more relevant to me right there. Maybe like a different park or something like that. So I'm gonna wait and come back to this one, but that's kind of where I'm gonna place it. Oh, and I think I want to put the compass for sure. So big. Let's see, maybe it's a lot of circles here. So there is a very little overlap right now on my images, which will make for easier, you know, sticker making. I will say that. So you can see I've kind of planned. I have, and I'll show you this right now while we're here. Like that's how it looked, kind of very loose, right? The sign, the canteen, the backpack, the compass, the banner, right? And then I'll figure out if I want to include anything else in those empty spaces. There's not a lot of space. Maybe like it would be kind of cool to do like a little patch. Like I do like that little number patch. That. Maybe. I don't know. I don't love the way it's kind of like going in the same direction as a flag. I might change that direction like this. So you'll see me, I'm just gonna like redraw right on top of it. And I know that can be really distracting for some people. So don't do that. Sketch with pencil if you like, you know, that's totally a good option. My brain will just forget that I have those old drawings and I just focus on the new one. So for me, I don't even notice it, but it's probably something that I hear from my students that it's very distracting when I do that. To me, I don't even notice it, but they do tell me like, which are the right lines? Okay, so the Just Art that you're using, Gina, are water-based, right? Oh, I do like, I love a water-based marker. Right now I'm in my my acrylic marker stage, but I, you know, really, really love to use water-based markers. We're gonna have to do that next because I haven't used mine in a really long time. They need to get some action. So I might have to do that next. I'm gonna just loosely sketch that in. That sketching here was just like, nope, that will take me too long. So I'm just gonna like really rough them in here. And the great thing is that because the subject that I'm drawing is like looking very handmade, it's okay for it to look rough. In fact, the rougher, I think, the better, right? I'll try to make this look more twiggy later. I'll make this a little smaller because I don't like the composition. Okay, put some little knots here, a little bit of twine here. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going there. And I do like that little bit of dark brown in the background, or like black, but I'm not using black for mine. Could do the blue, which would be nice, but I feel like the blue, actually, the blue I have is pretty dark. Let's do the blue. I just don't want it to be like all browns here. I really want to try to distribute all the colors that I'm using. let me see, where's my little camp sign? Let's bring that one back. Where did I put it? Yeah. Water-based markers are difficult for you. When they overlap, they seem to shift. Yeah, they do. I agree with you, Nina. And what I've learned is that I just kind of use that overlap. I don't know if you've like experimented with that, but I know sometimes it's a good idea to like when you pull your colors, swatch them and stack them on top of each other so you can kind of have an idea of what they're going to look like when they stack. Because I always try to use that to my advantage. Like I think they do like show evidence of what is underneath them. And so I try to make that like into a new color. So I'll try to like stack it with something that's going to make it look like a shadow or something, for instance. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I do feel like that there's that can present a problem in terms of, you know, building your images. You have to contend with the fact that with the water-based markers, you are going to see, I always call them the ghosts, right? The ghosts of like everything that has happened underneath it. And oftentimes like those are going to become visual elements. I lean into it. I like that. But sometimes people don't. I was talking about that yesterday with my students. They didn't like the tombos when I introduced them to the tombos. Like they didn't like the marks, and they didn't like the trails that they could see of all the line work. And I like that, but I needed that perspective, because to me it was just like, wow, a really beautiful element that is being added to the drawing very easily. You don't even have to do anything special. It just happens. And they saw that as something that they were trying to hide it. And I was like, what? So I didn't really think too much about it until they kind of pointed it out to me that they didn't like that. So I think that's okay too, to not like it and to not appreciate that like element of it. So I think that's something to know about if you're going to like spend money on, you know, a nice set of markers. Like if that's not something you like, you know, keep in mind. You should really look at, I would recommend that you look at the work of Dylan M. She goes by Dylan M on Instagram. Dylan Mirenzensky or something like that. She makes beautiful works, especially, I mean, I feel like she uses quite a bit water-based markers, and she leaves a lot of those little like marks and the like overlapping strokes, and it's just, I think it's beautiful. I love her work. I'm a big fan. And I feel like that could be something like, I don't know, maybe if I show this artist to my students, they'll see those marks in a different light. I think it's possible. I mean, I don't know. They have a tendency to like, you know, think the way that they feel at this moment is all that exists. So there's no possibilities of difference. But, you know, I think that could be something to like play with. Okay, time to make this look a little bit branchy or twiggish. It's not a branch, it's a twig. Put some little twiggy details on them. See if we can make this look twiggish. I feel like this first line looks a little too much. I went a little too hard with the twigginess, and now it looks a little goofy. I mean, I guess the whole drawing is going to be goofy. Like, let's be real. And that's okay. It's like, you know, it's campy. It's camp themed. Okay, it's 10:45. So we're getting close to the end of our hour of drawing. So I like to kind of, take stock at this point. The good thing is that we're not done. And so I feel like I just have to remember that tomorrow I'm coming back to this. I would love to finish this little camp sign because then I can feel like, okay, well, I'm done with this and I can just start with the new elements tomorrow. And I didn't talk about how I'm gonna create a. Oh, sorry, I'm like not even in the screen in the frame anymore. I've just moved out. How I want to create a little bit of a resource in case anybody wants it, just to show you how I make my stickers. And I know a lot of people have been interested in creating their own stickers, and I think you should do it. I love stickers. I mean, I've loved stickers since I was a kid. I'm sure all of us have that like memory. If you like stickers now, you probably loved stickers as a kid. And I mean, I had the sticker book and everything, right? So I love stickers, and I like to make them. I've always used a manufacturer to make the stickers in my shop. I have a lot of stickers in my shop, and I mean, ultimately, I kind of say like my shop is really a sticker shop now at this point. Like that's primarily what I sell. I have other items, but they don't sell necessarily in the same way that my stickers sell. So I make a lot of stickers. And if you want to make stickers, I can show you how I make them. I don't know if they're like the professional way to do them, but I mean, if I sell them, I think technically that makes me professional, and this is how I do it. So I can show you how I do it. I'm sure there are lots of millions of good ways. And do you, Emily? Oh, I wish I did. I'm also like kind of a thrower awayer. Like I impulsively throw things away. My child will tell you that I have thrown away so many of her things. She's always like, "Did you throw that away?" And I'll be like, "No, it wasn't me, but it was probably me." I'm a thrower awayer, so I'm not as sentimental. I mean, in my older age, now that I'm becoming a little bit more sentimental, it's just like the sense of nostalgia. But that being said, I don't have anything from like my childhood. I really wish I hadn't destroyed everything in a fit of rage at some point, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know why I would have thrown everything away, but I don't really have anything. And I had so many stickers. I was a letter writer. I don't have any of those either. I really wish I would have had them. A lot of my childhood friends will tell me like, "Oh, I just still have all the letters that you wrote me when we were like in middle school or like high school." I would write letters quite a bit, and I just don't have anything of that, which I'm a little sad about. I would like to just have like some of those things. Like I wish I had all my like patches from Girl Scouts. I don't have any of that. I wish I would have kept like my sticker books. Yep, but no, I don't have any. And now they're making stickers that are meant to look kind of like vintage, like from my time period, very 1980s. And I'm like, we had the like OGs and I didn't appreciate it. I wish I would have appreciated it a little bit more. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of light on these little twigs. I do want them to feel like they are like dimensional, which is going to be important for it to feel kind of twiggy, but I think it might need a little bit more development to make it feel like that. Like it's feeling a little bit dimensional, but not that much. Okay, it's 10:50. We're getting close to the end of our session. Of course, you can keep drawing if you like. I would probably normally keep drawing, but the good thing is I'm telling myself that I have to stop at this time so that I can show the process. So that's good for me because it means that as soon as I leave our live stream, I have to go finish my paper. Tell me to finish my paper, guys, because I'm just kind of like writing like 2 words and then I'm like, no, maybe I'll do a little drawing, or maybe I'll play with this like new materials I got for the Cricut that I really want to. I have to finish my paper. If I could finish it like tomorrow or today, oh, I could start my summer break, you guys. I could start my summer. This is not the right brown that I wanted. It's this one. Make it feel like these are all separated from each other. Definitely swatch out my colors. I'm having a lot of trouble today distinguishing between my shades here. So before I put everything away, I'm going to swatch them out, and that way I can remember which ones they are. I also like to take a picture of the colors, and that way I have the names of them handy. Like those two are just so similar. I should probably, I'm going to leave them in the order that I'm putting them in. Okay, so it's those, and then it's these. It's actually this one first, and then this one. That way maybe I can put the numbers, the color number on there. Yeah, and then they change as they dry. You are absolutely correct, which is like, okay, well, I thought that's what they look like, and then they look like something else. I'm going to keep them in the right order so I can write down the numbers. Because I did find that yesterday when I pulled out all the colors that I had used 2 weeks ago, I was like, great, I'm so glad I took that picture. I have all the colors I need. I still needed a refresher on which was which. So I'm going to like label them so that way I can keep that like handy. Let's see. I'm going to try to write it right on top. I'm just going to write the number, even though I don't think any of them have the same. BR89. 89. Yeah. 419. 519. This is 620. 321. 115. 09. 57. 85. 28. 513 and 821. Okay. And I'm mostly going to have trouble with like these two or maybe these two. I'm having a lot of trouble with those two browns. Definitely the greens. I can never get those two greens. They look almost the same, right? So that's what it looks like. I don't know if I should put any a little bit of this right in here. A little. I didn't put any of that dark one, I don't think, there. Okay. So I'm going to stop about here. I think this will be a good stopping point. We drew this together. Let me see if I can see it there, right? Let me see if I can make this invisible for a second. Okay. Okay, so this one we started with, and that one went pretty fast considering it was, figures. They don't really look like figures, but they look like figures, but they don't look like people. So I think that's enough. I think I would like a lighter blue that I can kind of like add some light to the water. It does look kind of flat. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. And then my little camp sign, which is so far this is my favorite thing I've done. It would be super cute to like change the name of that and like put something else on that. Like you could write something different on there and, make it personal or something like that. And then I have a sketch for everything else that we're going to draw tomorrow. If I can finish them all tomorrow, maybe maybe we'll work on this the rest of the week. So we kind of have like a starting point, which is really cool. I mean, I always say that like one way to kind of like build a sketchbook practice, if that's something you're interested in, is to just, give yourself like one thing to draw every day and just spend like 10-15 minutes drawing. I don't know, like maybe you just want to do one of these. I could probably, I'm pretty fast, but I will say I could probably draw this like in about 20 minutes, I'm guessing. Depends on how it goes, but you can spend like have 20 minutes devoted to your sketchbook and then draw as much as you can for those 20 minutes. And then when that time is up, move on with your life and come back to it tomorrow and pick something else. So this kind of gives us a place to go from here. Like we know what we're going to do and now we're just going to like make it happen. Yeah. But Liz, your drawings are beautiful. So it's a reflection of the time and the labor you put into it. So, I mean, I think that's fair. Mine obviously are like, they're like rough. They're rough and I personally like that, but I don't have the same kind of level of detail as you do. Your work is beautiful and yeah, maybe give yourself an hour. But I think you also really like working, right? So you're kind of like looking forward to that practice. So, maybe that's something that you can consider. Like if we kind of have an idea, we're just going to draw one every day and that's cool. I think this might be, it's Wednesday today, a tall order for me to try to finish all of these tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see what we get to do. You had an art teacher tell you that you were too slow. Yeah, definitely. That was it's so weird. I don't know if you would believe this, but I had that issue when I was an art student too. But like in high school, like I was very, very slow. And it was more like I was distracted and I was very chatty. I'm a social butterfly. So I was always the last one, still working on that still life, like off in the corner of the room by myself. But now I'm like really fast, but it just, I think that came with being a teacher. Like you kind of got to make things quickly. So anyway, we will wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Tomorrow we'll have another creative morning for the week. That'll be our last one for this week. And we will continue our sketch here. So if you want to put your stuff away or keep working on it, that would be cool too. I will start right here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time, same place, same time. I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for being here and for keeping me company as I drew this morning. I hope you did a little bit of drawing too. And you can always share with me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is ErikaBeeswax. I would love you to tag me in your work and I can see it and I can share it if you'd like, if you're comfortable with that. And if not, just tell me that too. Also, we have a chat on Patreon and you can post it in there if you just want to share it with other people who are drawing the same content. So I will see you guys tomorrow. You all have a beautiful day. Take care and hasta mañana.